Hey guys, welcome to the Gods Unchained beta with the TheProfesserf. Alright, it's time for our Monday Mythic meta for the ranked weekend event that ran on January 7th, 8th, and 9th. Let's take a look at our results. Before we take a look at the results, just want to point something out. Did you know that it's been one full year of Monday Mythic metas? The very first Monday Mythic meta was published a year ago on January 11th. A little bit of history there for you. Alright, for our ranked weekend results, we can see that one player had 25 out of 25, a perfect run, congratulations. We had 5 players with 24 wins. Very, very close. Great job. And the rest of the top 10 rounding out with 23 wins. These are unofficial results, and we can see that the last spot will be contested. So let's wait and see until the official results are published later this week who gets the last spot for those extra prizes. Let's go into more details. For our top 10 breakdown, we can see that Control is very popular with 8 of the top 10 players playing a Control deck. There's an even split between War, 4 War players, and 4 Death players. Aggro Magic deck came in 5th, along with an Aggro Nature deck finishing in the last spot. For our top 20, 9 players played War, 6 players played Death, 3 players played Nature, 2 players played Magic, and there were no players that played Light or Deception that made it into the top 20. For our most wins, we can see that War had the most wins at 25. The best Death and Magic deck finished with 24 wins. The best Nature and Light deck finished with 23 wins. And the best Deception deck I could find finished with 19 wins. Looking at our deck types, we could see that 14 players in the top 20 played a Control deck, 5 players played an Aggro deck, and 1 player played a mid-range deck. Let's look at our top decks in more detail. Our top War deck was a Control War deck using the Valka's Presence God Power. We see some strong early War cards like Master Tactician, Tavern Brawler, Warmonger Smith, Audi, Archangel Bruiser, Grand Hall. That's complemented by additional strong war cards for the mid-game with Magic Missile Launcher, Carnage Sweep, Orcish Elite, Herdicus, and Soul Survivor. We have Hector, Prince of Troy, topping out the list, and Jason adding some value for late game. We can see some synergy here with the Tartesian Improviser. This card is 1 mana, but also gives a creature in your hand +2 strength. So the Improviser can give +2 strength to your Leviathan Hunter. Comboed with the Soul Survivor could do a lot of damage. The Improviser also combos with the Archangel Bruiser and Herdicus. I do a quick overview of the top decks. However, if you want to go into more details, check out Team Stream Team's YouTube channel. TST's The Mudman has been producing a video series called What to Play Over the Weekend, where he breaks down the top decks and gives recommendations on what to play for the weekend ranked. Our top Death deck was a Control Death deck with the Blood Ritual God Power. You have your early game of Removal and Stalling, Blight Bomb, Siren of the Grave, Sulfuric Rain, Eva, Baroness of the Dead. You have your Void interactions with Half-Life, Canopic Hoarder. You have removals with Nefru, Reap, Apocalypse Now. You have plenty of card draw with Wind-Up Roller, Sulfuric Rain, Burrowing Scarab, and Vrock. And you have value cards with Jason and That Which Aches. Our top Magic deck managed 24 wins. This one's an Aggro Magic deck with the Mage Bolt God Power. You can see that the deck is composed mainly of all Magic class cards. You have plenty of cheap removal spells with Ancient Text, Form of Power, Illuminate, Starshard Bolt, Tracking Bolt, Defend the Ramparts, and Valve Learning. You have strong magic creatures like Assistant Alchemist, Shadow Scryer, Demetrios, Vortimer the Volatile, All-Seeing Spire, Miraculous Familiar, and Monolith of Storm. You also have some key magic cards that make the deck very dangerous with Street Conjurer with the spell boost, Frostbitten Channeler, Scepter of Artistry, and the Monolith of Storms. Our best nature deck finished with 23 wins. This one's an Aggro Nature deck with the Animal Bond God Power. This deck tops out a 6 mana with 2 Giant Pangolins, a Sudden Bloom, and 1 copy of the Hunt. You have the strong low curve of nature with Chiron, Marshwalker, Canopy Barrage, Finian Footbear, Underbrush Boar, Celestial Stag, Overgrown Rhino, Selena, and Brazen Moose. You have a couple of key buff cards like Moonlight Charm, Sit from the Spring, and Falling Star. Our best light deck finished with 23 wins. This one's an aggro deck with the Summon Acolyte God Power. The deck tops out at 6 mana with Asterius, has a few 5 mana drops with Canonize and Guild Enforcer. And you have your usual strong light cards like Cudgel of Atonement, Ritual Rod, the Bright Mage, Light's Levy, Radiant Dawn, Highborn Knight, Master of Indulgences, and CERN. The best Deception deck I found finished with 19 wins. This is the same deck from last week using Orpheus Distraction. Similar to last week, this deck is a mix of aggro cards with Orfeo, Shadow of Lethanon, Armor Lurkers, along with some value and stalling with the Hollow, Ransom, Rapture Dance, Anti-Magic Expert, Demogorgon, and Guild Enforcer. Taking a look at our weekend snapshot for the Mythic level, we can see that the popular gods remain to be War and Nature. War and Nature combined make up over 50% of the meta. Both have a positive win rate, War at 52% and Nature at 50%. War is positive across all matchups, with Nature being positive over Light, Magic, and Deception. Another strong contender is Death at 49% win rate and an 11% popularity. Death is strong over Nature, Magic, and Deception. Light's win rate is at 48%, however has a low representation at 7%. Light does have positive matchups over Death, Magic, and Deception. At the bottom, we have Magic and Deception, with 47% win rate for Magic and 46% for Deception. For our top 10 scoreboard, we've gone ahead and reset the list. Since we are starting a new year, 2022, we took last weekend's results, which was the first ranked weekend event for 2022, and started the list there. We have our top 10 players from last week, making up our top 10 spot. First place gains 10 points, second place gains 9 points, and so on, with 10th place gaining 1 point. All right, here's a list of our top players again. Congratulations on a great weekend, and good luck on your prizes when you receive them later this week.